You hear that, Andross? We're coming for you!
Good luck.
Star Fox, what a beloved Nintendo franchise, and for the first time since the GameCube, we have a home console Star Fox game. So, is it worth it? Let's find out. Let's not waste any time. Star Fox Zero is a lackluster game. It disappointingly rests on its laurels while drowning the core experience with poorly designed gimmicks and a disjointed campaign. Some of these issues will be difficult to represent in this video as the Wii U's gamepad screen plays a heavy role in Star Fox Zero's most obnoxious moments. But trust me, it's a problem. Keeping with tradition, the story features the fan-favorite mercenaries Fox, Peppy, Slippy, and Falco as they assist the Lylat military in their war against the all-powerful Andross. Though far from original, there's a real charm in watching the heads of these animal pals pop up during gameplay with battle context and cute banter. But before you get too attached to the concept, keep in mind you'll need to crank up the volume of the Wii U gamepad. Unlike other Nintendo franchises, there's voice acting. Quite a lot in fact, but none of it will come from your TV or monitor. Instead, all the dialogue is relegated to the gamepad's tinny speaker. That's because the Wii U's signature controller is a representation of Fox's cockpit, with a first-person display featured on the screen. Physically turning, lowering, and lifting the gamepad offers a focused view and greater detail for shooting down Andross's ships and robots. During the game's initial on-the-rail sequences, it works surprisingly well. It's not perfect, as the player's attention will still be divided between the controller's small display and the television, but still, it's rather engaging, with a consistent feeling of progress. It's unfortunate these sequences are quickly sidelined by the troubled free flight stages. The concept itself isn't new to the series, but the implementation of motion controls and a separate screen can cause more than a few unintended accidents. There's just something unnatural about the whole procedure. The ship's controls are inverted while the cockpit aiming is left standard. This isn't much of an issue while flying towards a direct path, but becomes tremendously awkward while navigating an open environment. The gamepad's camera will often become focused in the wrong direction, requiring a tap of the left stick for recentering. Problem is, it never really works as intended, with the cockpit view always feeling slightly too high or too low. The inconsistent camera is made all the more frustrating considering these free-range flying events are often tied to time challenges and boss fights. Accomplishing an objective while fighting the motion controls and avoiding collisions with the left stick while simultaneously boosting, braking, and angling with the right stick is horribly tedious. Star Fox Zero features a seemingly diverse set of vehicles, which sadly all share in the same issues. The latest addition to the roster is the Arwing's new Walker transformation, theoretically allowing players a greater amount of control by taking the fight to the ground. It doesn't exactly feel like a contemporary third-person shooter, after all this is still a ship, but the stiff controls combined with some awfully bland hallway sections make its inclusion feel unnecessary. This is especially true considering there's already a more powerful and better performing ground vehicle in the Landmaster tank. The Landmaster can transform into a sluggish airship that's dependent on the boost meter. In other words, it's a more limited version of the Arwing. It's strange how redundant most of these vehicles are. However, there is one welcomed addition in the Gyro Wing, a slow-moving helicopter with the ability to deploy a tethered robot. From here, players will explore small environments on the gamepad or pick up bombs before returning to the ship. Not really a game changer, but it's a solid experiment in an otherwise troubled game. Graphically, Star Fox Zero takes inspiration from its 20-year-old Nintendo 64 incarnation, with blocky objects and enemies. But even the most nostalgic of players will be hard-pressed to overlook the empty environments, compressed textures, and flat designs. Though a minimalist approach is appreciated, its execution can be downright ugly at times. So, is it worth it? No. Star Fox Zero misses the mark as both a contemporary title and a retro throwback. Its mandatory use of the gamepad's unsettled controls is reason enough to pass on the Great Fox's latest adventure, but the game's boring level design and dated visuals are equally at fault. There are brief occasions where the classic gameplay shines through, but it quickly becomes obscured by the numerous faults and needless distractions. Star Fox Zero's 5-hour campaign and branching pathways are intended for multiple playthroughs. Just don't be surprised if once is more than enough. Star Fox Zero is currently available on the Wii U for $60. If you've had a chance to play it, let me know what you thought. And if you haven't, let me know if you plan on picking it up. My name is Colin Tanner, and I'll see you in the next video.